Program Director, friends and former colleagues from the Constitutional Assembly, Edward Shalala, Fazila Mohammed, and other members of the Center for Constitutional Values, distinguished guests. I'm very sorry that I cannot be with you in person. I'm particularly sorry because this is in many ways a gathering of friends and comrades who were all involved in the making of our Constitution. Some of us served as members of the Constitutional Assembly. Others worked behind the scenes, organizing its work and, importantly, taking the Constitution-making process to millions of South Africans. Edward, Fazila, and others involved in the Center for Constitutional Values were part of that process. My own journey to the Constitutional Assembly began long before 1994, through involvement in the struggle against apartheid as a student and youth activist, and later through human rights work, including at Lawyers for Human Rights. From 1994 to 1996, I was a member of the Constitutional Assembly and served on Theme Committee 5, which dealt with the judiciary and the legal system. My understanding was and remains that the Constitution is not simply a legal document. It emerged from a long struggle against colonialism and apartheid. It was also the product of negotiation between South Africans with profoundly different histories, interests, and political perspectives. It also involved an extraordinary exercise in public participation. Millions of people engaged with constitution-making process through meetings, submissions, letters, and public hearings. That experience is worth remembering today when a pernicious narrative is being peddled that the Constitution represents an alien imposition rather than a homegrown product of struggle. The theme of this 30th anniversary is therefore appropriate. One nation, one constitution, reflect, renew, recommit. When we reflect on the past 30 years, there's much of which South Africans can be proud. The Constitution fundamentally changed the legal and political order imposed by colonialism and apartheid. It remains our lodestar for the fundamental political, social, and economic transformation of our country into a truly united, non-racial, non-sexist, democratic, and prosperous nation. It established constitutional supremacy and the rule of law. It entrenched an extensive Bill of Rights. It established an independent judiciary and institutions supporting constitutional democracy. It created mechanisms through which the exercise of public power can be challenged and be held accountable. It also recognized that political freedom could not be separated from the social and economic conditions in which people live. That is why socio-economic rights form such an important part of our constitutional order. But 30 years is also long enough for us to reflect critically. The Constitution cannot transform society simply by existing. It cannot by itself overcome the enormous inequalities produced by our history. It cannot create jobs, eradicate poverty, end gender-based violence, defeat crime and corruption, or ensure that every community receives decent public services. Those responsibilities belong to all of us: government, parliament, the courts, civil society, business, labor, communities, and citizens. We therefore have to acknowledge the distance that still exists between the promise of the Constitution and the daily experience of many South Africans. For me, this is one of the most important questions we should confront during this anniversary. It's not a reason to lose confidence in the Constitution. Quite the opposite. The Constitution provides the democratic framework within which we can confront these failures and challenges. It provides standards against which government and other institutions can be judged. It also gives citizens the rights which they can assert when public power fails them. But constitutional democracy cannot depend only on courts and lawyers. A constitution ultimately survives because people understand it, claim ownership of it, and insist that its values should govern public life. That is why the work of the Center for Constitutional Values is so important. Those of you who worked in the Constitutional Assembly will remember the importance we attached to public participation. Perhaps one of the lessons of the past 30 years is that this work never really ends. Every generation has to acquire an understanding of the Constitution for itself. Young South Africans who were born long after 1996 must be able to see the Constitution not simply as a historical achievement of an earlier generation, but as an instrument through which they can shape their own future. That brings us to the last two words of the anniversary theme: renew and recommit. We need to renew our commitment to constitutionalism, to the rule of law, to accountable and capable government, and to strong democratic institutions. But we must also recommit ourselves to the transformative objectives of the Constitution. The preamble asks us to heal the divisions of the past, to establish a society based on democratic values, social justice, and fundamental human rights, to improve the quality of life of all citizens, and to free the potential of each person. 30 years later, that remains unfinished work. We can be proud of our Constitution and what it has enabled us to achieve over the past 30 years. But perhaps the best way to honor that achievement is not simply to celebrate what we did then. It is to ask what the Constitution requires of us now. That is why I value the work being done by the Center for Constitutional Values. I wish you well in this celebration, and more importantly, with the work that follows from it. The Constitution belongs to all of us. So does the responsibility for making its promise real. I thank you.